Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the beginning of a whole new Let's Play. This is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I have been steadily Let's Playing each and every Ace Attorney game. I've played the original trilogy, Apollo Justice, and the two Miles Edgeworth Investigations games. And I was about to begin on Ace Attorney 5 and 6, but wouldn't you know it, Capcom announced a big fancy HD collection for those games, so while we're waiting for that, we'll play this. Oh, and I also did Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, that too. In fact, that was the last thing I did, so how could I forget it? What do I know about this game? Virtually nothing. I don't, in any of the promotional art, I don't see any character I recognize. I don't see Phoenix, I don't see Apollo, I don't see Miles Edgeworth, I don't see anyone from the Faye family. It seems like a whole new, fresh cast. And now that I actually look at this... title screen more, this looks like Japan. This is a Japanese architecture, and there's Japanese kanji on the papers there on the desks in this courtroom? Hold on. Is this... Are we leaving Japanifornia behind? Well, okay then. Without further ado, I'm just hyped to get in here and discover this game. And I will say one thing to start out. I am a bit disappointed in the audio options. Like, look at this. Music on or off. There's no volume control. So, if my voice and the balance between my voice and the music and the sound effect is bad in this, I apologize. I don't know how to do post-processing editing for volume. In fact, I don't think the video editor I use even lets me do that in the first place, so... we'll just have to deal with what we got, so... Anyway, it's time. Pick an adventure to play. Alright, I suppose you can start in either game. The Great Ace Attorney Adventures, or... Oh! Whoa! That's fancy schmancy, look at that! Upgrades! Yes. Adventures. We're starting with Game 1. A new game. Oh, I'm hyped. Anime?
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors,
Anime.
A push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Wait.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting.
Is this a period piece?
It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Yo, this is in the past? Uh-oh.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Right, so our protagonist has shot a man. That's a strong start. The Adventure of the Great Departure. There's a lot to unpack here. That's, a very strong sound effect. I can only assume that that sound is... Usually there's a typewriter sound for this green text in this franchise. I can only assume that this period piece game is set before the invention of the typewriter. Maybe that's the sound of some other machine or press or something. I can only assume. So, one thing at a time here. We're in the past. This is This is like old-timey times. Wow. Is this before or after World War II? I have many questions. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Oh, some things never change. God, this game looks good. The bailiff. What? No, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. I get it. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I get it. Goodbye, Japanifornia. We're full-time Japan. Phoenix Wright's true original name in the Japanese version of the franchise is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Now, either this is a full-fledged reboot reimagining and we're some alternate universe interpretation of Phoenix Wright, or this, I can only assume it's Phoenix's ancestor. One of those two options. I think that's what this has to be. One of those two options. Oh, this is good. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough? Whomst? Look at this man. You know this person is cool? 'Cause he's got wind blowing his bandana trails indoors. Also around his arm, he has an attorney's badge symbol on his armband. That's neat. And I think he's wearing it must be the same school uniform as Ryunosuke here. Neat. Also, he's got a katana? He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. I like this man. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. He's acting more like Apollo right now than Phoenix. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. I can only think of the Kazuma from Yu Yu Hakusho now. Great anime, by the way. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Oh, it was a professor at the academy. I mean, university. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me, I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up, hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Usogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive. Oh. Dang it, it's doing the friggin'... Can I turn that off? Options? Yeah, I set the wait time to 3 seconds, but I think that might be for auto advance only. What can you do? I'm just gonna miss dialogue sometimes because I'm reading stuff aloud. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're going to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I mean, there is a breeze making his cool bandana flutter. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. What, you mean the system that was just made a few years ago? That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Huh. Come to think of it, when we were on the title screen and I saw like the court in the second game's menu, that did look British. I wasn't gonna say anything, but maybe this is a story of 2 cities. I don't know. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. This guy's cool. I can't wait for him to die like Mia Fey. He's not making it out of this case, I swear to God. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Sogi, may I have a word? Who is this? Ah, that lady. She's in my YouTube thumbnail. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Sogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. I swear to God, that woman's probably a fae. Either, okay, I know Phoenix Wright's original Japanese name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo, and I think I want to say Edgeworth is Mitsurugi, but I do not know Maya Fey's original name off the top of my head, so if they say it, it's gonna fly over me for a bit. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. I hope you're enjoying my flawless pronunciations of the Hapanaze Lenguagi. This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yushin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Forensics, you say? Oh, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he has been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked, never granted again. Oh, nice. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? I have to marry the judge? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. I'm interested to see who the judge will be. And also the prosecutor. This is going to be interesting. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. So harsh. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. This is good. 9 a.m. sharp. The Supreme Court of Judicatari, Court of Judging, courtroom number 2. Oh, yeah, courtroom 2, of course. You look so nervous and serious. So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Ugh. It warms my heart to see them using the lessons they learned from Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. The camera in that game was so good during the court trial sessions. It added so much, and these pans, these cool angles, oh, they're carrying it forward. I'm glad. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Wow. Okay, well, I saw one familiar face. I should have known. I should have freaking known. But, wow, look at this judge. That is a cool-looking judge. But he's not my judge. I'm still gonna give him the same old voice I always do, though. You can't break tradition. Never. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. His name is Ouchie! Winston Payne meet Ouchie. Oh, it's so good! As is the defense. Before we begin, there was one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say, I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Wow, this is... I genuinely can't tell if this is an actual branch in the story. Well, if I answer I do, well, this would be Ryunosuke defending himself in court and kickstarting his Ace Attorney path, really. But if he waits and sees and places his faith in Kazuma, wherefore then would be the call to action? You know what, let's try it. Answer, I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will Is that a ring? What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. Means you don't have faith in me. I think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, doesn't the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
Damn, that is one biting objection. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. He really is. He really is. Oh, wow. He really is Phoenix. We'll just settle for that for now. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. Oh, what does that character mean? I bet you it's hilarious. What does it mean? As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. He lied. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. I see some buttons on the bottom right of the screen, but none of them say court record. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of right bumper. Or find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. Just have to press right bumper for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Ooh. Neat. University collar pin. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yume University. Always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with RB. He's 23. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Oh, looks like the professor that was killed was a Brit. Yujin Mikotoba, 42. Takasushi Auchi, 51. The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the cultural reformation has brought about. And John H. Wilson. Why does that sound familiar? H? Whatever. The victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Yep, he's a Brit. John H. Wilson. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People section of the court record, then press Y to present. Try it now. Well, I'm using a PS5 controller, so I'll use a triangle.
Yes!
Yes. Yes? The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. Well, because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. But the fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire? Wow, it's incredible to think... Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. I think we need to look at the post-mortem report. I prefer autopsy, but sure. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. That's probably going to be useful info later. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and then select present. Do it now.
Yes!
I'm glad the controls are all the same from the DS games I was playing. Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it? Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Whoops. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Yay, we have photographs. That's nice. So that's a photographic print. That's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Oh, maybe it's that girl. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Huh. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Butler. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. He's bleeding from his mouth. Are you all right? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. I was gonna say this dude reminded me of the Gatewater Hotel dude. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants and Occidental Eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, will you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? No, he reminds me more of Turner Gray. Yeah, he reminds me of Turner Gray. He was a bit player, but I remember his name. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But... The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? Also, I just noticed his armband. That's the prosecutor's badge. Neat. No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, a woman. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Well, this is him giving his initial testimony. We need to cross-examine later. Wait and see. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? Yes. I suppose I am. I'd never have got into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. Don't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. Just gonna shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Yes. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Is he defensive about his business card? Maybe he just has one business card. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. So, the court has now heard a process of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. You're just going to abandon that duty? You're going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchi, please continue with proceedings. Tisk, well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. He can be my angel, or my devil. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Plural. Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh yeah, I saw one of these two. Wait. These two? Oh my god, you guys are... Guys, I think they brought back the multiple people trials from Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. I think they brought that back. That was so fun. Hype. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yesa Noza reporting for duty, sir. Myself I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Kurikuta at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier? What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and, not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. Yeah, see, you said it, curios. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Oh wait, that was cannon? Huh? So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. What was that noise? Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Well, this is neat. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Is he... I can't help but notice he has, like, some cloth tied around his body with a knot in front of him. Is that like some sort of baby or animal on his back or something? The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. The back, really? I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Noza, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir, that cruel and unforgivable enemy. Is that a knife? What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, There is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I mean the defense demands its right to cross-examination. Dear me. Let me guess, the Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Go. Kazuma is so commanding.
Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses.
Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. What was that? A weak little slappy slap? What was that? Yeah. Oh, he has yet to master the art of the noble desk slap. Oh my god. Alright then, it's all or nothing. Oh, that's good. What the witnesses saw. I see where, I have 5 pips of health. We're not using the same bar system from some of the older Ace Attorney games I'm more accustomed to. Though, technically, I wanna say when, like, the very first Ace Attorney came out, for the Game Boy Advance, it was Japan exclusive at the time, it did indeed use the 5 pips of health point system. And it was only for, like, the American release on the DS that it used a bar, I think. Either that or it was the re-release that did it? The Ace Attorney Trilogy? Well, point is, 5 chances to mess up. 5th strike, you're out, and all that. Wait, oh my god, look at the top right of the dialogue box. There are little pips that show you how far you are in the... Oh, that's so good. That is quality of life I didn't even know I wanted. Oh, that's so good. Huh. Well, we are certainly in the thick of it, aren't we? Back in the swing of things. Good old classic Ace Attorney. With a twist, they brought back the multiple people cross-examinations. Yeah, it was too good a concept to just leave behind in that spin-off crossover game. Oh, if they can iterate on it and make it even better. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. They have certainly seemed to have learned some good lessons. I'm hyped. But, yeah, in general terms, this is a period piece. What a fascinating choice. Like, we're near the dawn of Japan's justice system, following either an alternate universe Phoenix Wright or his ancestor. I can't tell yet which. It could be either, could be neither. Who friggin' knows? All I know is that, yeah, I'm here for it. What a great concept. So for so far back in the past, then I think it's really safe to say we will not see a single character that I am familiar with. It's going to be a whole new, brand new cast. Like, there could be some clear ancestor equivalents, you know. I'm pretty sure that woman in the pink kimono is going to be a Fae ancestor. I mark my words. If she's a spirit medium, well, that's that then. But other than that, yeah. We're here at the start of a brand new Ace Attorney game. What a special time. I am going to have the time of my life let's playing this, as I have in all the others before it. Well, I'm Zephyr the Jester. Thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll catch you next time when we start pressing these two people, see what's what, and clearly contradict them. We didn't shoot him in the back. That bullet entered from the front and it didn't pass through. It's pretty clear what we have to do. So, until next time, please take care.